Welcome to episode 2 of TFL's Total Download, and it's all Camaros all the time. And I just had a chance to talk with Dave Wallace, the curator of GM's Heritage Collection, and here is basically the Camaro Museum. And check this out. You know what that is? That is Camaro number 100001. That's the VIN number. Yes, the very first Camaro. So let's get deep into Camaro culture, and that is coming up right now on the Fast Lane Car. What's your title, Greg?
Greg Wallace, and I manage the General Motors Heritage Center.
All right, Greg, so we're standing by, what's next to you?
What we have here is the Camaro Concept. You know, we stopped building Camaros in 2002, which we have the last one over here. But when we introduced the next-gen Camaro after that, this was the concept car for it. What's really interesting about this is when you look at this car and look at the production Camaros, how close concept was to production. So they're very similar. Mirrors are a little different, but the overall dimensions of the car are pretty close.
Except for the big wheels and tires, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Those would be hard to put on a production car.
Did the coupe. We also have the Camaro convertible concept as well.
So these mirrors obviously didn't make it into production?
No.
Yeah,
The interesting thing about design staff cars is if they didn't have to put mirrors on them, they wouldn't, because they clutter up the overall design of the car.
So they don't like mirrors?
They don't like mirrors.
The same thing on this concept for the...
Right, and if you look at this car, you notice that it's got flush-mounted door handles, very stylish mirrors, and even the windshield wipers are kind of high-tech.
Chrome, yeah.
So, and again, you know, it shows the production to or concept to production, how close they actually were.
Let's keep walking down. Kind of tell me about the rest of these cars. So
you know,
we have 6 generations, right? 6 generations of Camaros, and actually 5 and 6 this afternoon.
Yeah, I think Camaro probably is also one of the most popular of the pace cars of all time as well. So we've got a few Camaro pace cars here.
How many have you had, you know, off the top of your head?
No, I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was somewhere close to 20.
Really?
Starting out in '67 with the first Camaro.
Wow.
So it's 93, obviously. 92. This is the last Camaro that was built before they come out, the next generation. So from '67 to '02, they built Camaros, and we kept the last one for our collection.
Yeah, it was a convertible. That's interesting.
Yeah. Usually what we try to do is we try to keep the most interesting version of it, whatever model it is that we're...
Now, how about these? Are these pace cars as well, all these?
These are race cars.
Race cars, yeah.
And this is a Ron Fellows car. Camaro makes a great platform for a race car from an aerodynamic standpoint, and it's hard to beat you know, the powertrains that GM has put out in these cars.
So let's keep going. So we got the
82 pace car.
Yeah. That was a classic shape, huh?
Yep. And this was the first. This was the first of the next generation Camaros, all new body style. We'll look at the earlier third gen Camaros up here.
Yeah, I like the IROC Z over there. I gotta admit, when I was a kid, I had serious lust for IROC Z.
Yeah, most of us did, yep.
It says first rock, so is it the first IROC?
Yes. And we also have the 92 Camaro Z28 25th anniversary, which was a special anniversary edition for Camaro. The white offset painted wheels, you know, the striping and the hood scoops and the wing in the back are all kind of telltales for the 25th anniversary.
Now as we're walking over here, I see kind of that Z28 that reminds me of that Burt Reynolds car. Remember that? Yeah,
it's a little bit like the Black Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
And again, you know, this is Z28, and it's got the optional turbine wheels on it. Just a great car. And this is one of the finest. This belongs to Rick Hendrick's collection of cars, as well as the Rare Morse and Lee Shepard car.
Now this one over here.
This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's so clean.
It's a 1974 Z28.
Yeah.
It's an all-original car.
Wow.
And what's kind of unique about it is it's a different color. A lot of these cars were either they were either red or yellow or orange. This one here is a brown color, and it's also striped delete, so it doesn't have any of the stripes that would have came on them originally. So it's kind of a unique car.
It's incredibly clean. Really clean.
Yeah.
Look, you got one of the early G28s over here with the T-tops.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, T-tops were, it was a fad. It was a disco era. I mean, everybody, T-tops were, the thing.
Look at that. They were great, but they were kind of a pain in the butt, right? Because you didn't know what to do with them when you weren't used to them.
Well, yeah, you had to put them in the trunk, and generally they took up more room than you had. But there's nothing like driving a car with T-tops.
Okay, now we're getting into the oldest Camaros, right?
Yeah, this was a prototype car that Chevrolet did that never made it into production. It's got a very unique sunroof on it, and as well as
yeah, I can see that leaking after a couple of years.
yeah, there was something about it they didn't like. Yeah. Jenkins was a dealership that took our cars and kind of took them a step further as far as powertrains, and so this is how they came with the ET style wheels on them. The Jenkins striping. Generally, they had a 427 or 454 engine in them when the 454s were available in the next generation. So they took the powertrain up a notch. And they were very popular today.
Very collectible.
Very collectible
very
today.
Expensive.
Yep.
So tell me about this guy.
69 pace car.
Wow, look at that.
It's got the famous houndstooth interior, Hugger orange.
What's the color called? What's it called?
The color's Hugger orange is the interior color, and then the orange houndstooth pattern interior. This is a big block car. It's a 396 turbo 400 transmission. Very collectible again.
You remember who drove it?
No, I don't. No,
I'm asking a lot.
No, I certainly don't.
So are we getting close to 67 here, the first year?
This is the very first 67 Camaro. It's been number one.
Okay.
We don't want to pass the 69 Copo car.
Oh, you got a Copo.
Central office production order.
Yep.
There were 69 of these cars built, and this is number 66 of that 69. So it's a very rare car. Got the Z01 engine in it, and it's got like 2,000 miles on it. This is just a rare car in stunning condition.
You know what? It looks like it's almost something you could drive in the street. Modern Copos you would not want to take on the street.
Well, yeah, exactly, and they're not legal to take on the street. So, but these were street legal cars, and you had to have a special Copo production number to purchase one.
How much do you think this car would be worth on the open market?
Well, it's a lot of it's got, it's like any other commodity out there. It changes, fluctuates up and down. But without putting a price tag on this car, I would say somewhere from $750,000 to $1 million.
Yeah, of course.
It's just out of 69 of them, this is like one of the lowest mile ones that's out there.
Wow.
Right. Then this is the first Camaro, VIN number 1.
Wow, look at that.
I was going to see if we could...
This car was brought back from the dead.
Yeah?
And basically, yep, this guy here owns it. Corey Lawson. And it was an X-race car. Was it? Well, when they found this car, we did through the Heritage Center, we were able to come up with documentation to help document this car as being what it is.
Where did they find it?
I guess they found it out in the field. It was been relegated to a race car, and then they brought it back to stock original condition. But it's what they call a pilot line car, so it's number 1.
And it's authentic, right? It's all,
yeah, oh yeah.
That is, look at that, a small engine too.
Oh, 236,
yeah.
Yep. It was probably the most popular engine. Everybody thinks that everything was a V8 in a Camaro, but the bread and butter Camaros were all 6-cylinder engines.
I'm gonna put you a little bit on the spot here. How many did they sell the first year?
Ooh. He would probably know that better than I. How many Camaros did we sell in 67?
What's that?
How many Camaros did we sell in 67?
About 245,000, if I remember.
I was going to say 35, but 45 sounds good.
Wow, so it was a hit. It was an
It was absolutely out of the
hit.
box hit. Yep.
Wow.
And look at it. I mean, it's just a gorgeous car. And in true Chevrolet tradition, Chevrolet was a lot of value for the dollar. So the car was reasonably priced and came with a lot of things that you'd have to pay extra for on other cars.
Let me do a walk around.
You know, it's got some of the features on it. It's got, you know, besides the beautiful styling, deluxe steering wheel. Came with full hubcaps. White wall tires were standard.
How much do you think this is worth?
I would.
Hard to say.
Yeah, hard to say.
So what's your favorite car here? If you had to pick one. Oh, if there's a fire, which would you save?
Wow, I'd be pushing on the grumpy Jenkins car for sure.
Why? Tell me about it.
You know, it's just, you know, he really put Camaro on the map as being a good race platform. And Bill Jenkins was one of the big tuners from the 60s. He did a lot of the Impala lightweight race cars. But then when Camaro came out, this is what he campaigned as his race car. And you can see it was the 67 NHRA National Champ.
So one of the first Camaro race cars, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know, pretty much everybody, when you think of Grumpy Jenkins, you think of the Camaro.
Wow. How fast was it? Do you know what kind of times it ran?
It was a 10-second car,
10-second car, yeah.
which is not that fast by today's standards,
No,
but back then it was really
67.
going, yeah.
All right.
And then we got some beautiful Z28s, convertibles, and a beautiful Penske Sunoco race car.
That's pretty cool, too.
We're lucky enough to have the guys that restored these cars are here, the owners here with this car.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Wonder where they found it.
He'd be able to tell you. These guys are passionate about this stuff, so they're able to ferret these things out of garages. And
yeah, I'm surprised they survived. You know?
Yeah.
Race cars especially, because you know, they get crashed and then they get rebuilt and then they get crashed again.
a lot of them end up out in fields, and you know, it's luckily people recognize them. Generally, it's a passionate person about that kind of car, and they recognize them, bring them back. You
How
know.
many do you have in the collection altogether, Camaros, you know?
Oh, Camaros, we've probably got 50 or so.
50, yeah.
Yeah. And we're still keeping them. You know, we'll keep, you know, we keep one of each generation, either the last one or the first one.
Now, today they're going to unveil the first one, is that right? You know which one they're going to unveil?
This is the new Gen 6,
Right.
and that'll be the one we unveil, and that'll be a car we keep.
Okay, so that'll be one that'll end up in the museum.
Yeah.
It won't go for sale probably.
No.
All right. Because usually they auction them off sometimes, too.
Well, sometimes they do.
Yeah.
They'll auction off one for charity probably. It'll probably be the first saleable,
Okay.
which will be the first Camaro available to the public. But a lot of these cars that you'll see today are cars that are pilot cars that aren't really saleable, so we end up with them.
Can you believe it? There have been almost 20 of these Camaro pace cars since 1967. And coming up this afternoon at 4 o'clock, we are going to show you the unveiling of the 6th generation Camaro, the brand new 2016 Camaro. So please stay tuned for that. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car, and I'm hoping you're enjoying this TFL Total Download. See you later. Bye.